Good morning, students, faculty, and friends of the class of 2022. As a sophomore transfer student, I put a lot of pressure on what Shady Side was supposed to be for me. It was supposed to be a chance to learn exponentially more in a better environment, a chance to meet new people and have more friends, and just in general, a chance to be way happier than I was before. I had a lot of lofty hopes for how my life would change by being part of the Shady Side community. But literally on my first day, I had a reality check when I managed to get locked out of all the buildings for 20 minutes in a rainstorm. This is honestly impressive because I lost my fob for about 75% of my senior year, and I never had this problem ever again. But on that first day of classes, I went to all of them and introduced myself as the very underprepared, very damp transfer student. Now, for the most part, I've had a very positive high school experience. But still, when I look back, it's not the victories that I'm thinking of first. It's the awkward and the embarrassing moments like these. Now, I must be really terrible at first impressions, because my next story happened on the first day of junior year, on our very first day back to school after lockdown. Now, for me, this was a really big deal, because after a complicated sophomore year, I still hadn't really found my niche here yet. I was blessed with another fresh start to meet new people and finally find a place within the Shady Side community. So I walk into my calc class shouldering all of this leftover underclassmen anxiety, and if you've ever interacted with an SSA freshman, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They just ooze worry. Like you just want to hug them and be like, oh my gosh, your paper isn't due for 2 more weeks, calm down. But this was me on my first day of my junior year. I wanted so badly to control the narrative, to control the way people thought of me, and to be funny and likable and all the other qualities that people are commended for. And so we're doing these icebreakers, and I'm internally freaking out. I have no idea what to say, and eventually I decide I'm just gonna steal somebody else's answer. And right before my turn, Joe says that he likes to watch YouTube. A perfectly normal answer. So I tell the class, oh my gosh, I like to watch YouTube too. But then my math teacher throws a curveball and asks, what do you like to watch on YouTube? And my brain is firing blanks. I do not watch YouTube. That was a lie. And in a moment of sheer panic, I tell everyone that I watch deep sea drilling videos. Not DIY crafts or James Charles or some other mainstream thing that everybody else watches on YouTube. No, deep sea drilling repair videos. What possessed me to say that? I don't even watch those. Even my math teacher was like, that's so weird. And she taught math, which is infamously the geekiest subject in every Hollywood movie ever. I can't even describe to you how embarrassed I was. I bet my face is so red right now. I had to get a tutor, partly because calc is hard, but mostly because there was no way I could ever open my mouth in that class ever again. And I don't know why this was the most defining moment of my time at Shady Side. I eventually recovered, and I doubt anyone remembers it. And if you were there, specifically I'm talking to Joe, Hunter, and Tarek, please do not tell me about it afterwards. I do not want to know if you remember. But if I've learned anything from the past 3 years at Shady Side, it's those little awful moments that make you want to curl up and scream, oh my God, I wish I went to Winchester, are the ones that stick with you the most. It's those times when you hilariously wipe out when diving for a soccer ball. It's when you make a joke to your class and not a single person laughs. It's having a tour walk in on you while you're bawling. And yeah, that happened to me. And I've never seen that family on campus ever again. The admissions office is so nice and works so hard just for some emotionally volatile sophomore to ruin it all for them. I don't know where Mr. Grandizio is, but I'm sorry, that's my bad. But the thing is, after being humiliated so frequently at such a great magnitude every day, you just eventually put your guard down. It's not worth curating every single little thing someone learns about you anymore. It's not worth letting every awkward interaction ruin your entire day. And eventually, it's in those awful, awkward, and humiliating moments that the best parts begin to take root. My best friendship at Shady Side was formed during a time when I was most ashamed of myself. Shout out to Ariella, even though she couldn't be here today. And I did some of my best schoolwork my junior year after the whole deep sea drilling fiasco. Over the last few months, we've all been romanticizing the big what comes next. And I'm completely guilty of it too. Everything I say about college is doused with a heaping spoonful of optimism. But realistically, there's probably going to be just as many thorns as there are roses. I've already seen some of them. On a college tour this year, I walked in on my admissions officer in the bathroom. And at an admitted students day, I saw a guy wipe out on his skateboard in front of all of his frat brothers, and they laughed hysterically at him as he sobbed. So no matter what we go on to do, the next chapter of our lives is going to be filled with so many humiliating moments as we clumsily move away, meet new people, and redefine who we are. Things are going to happen that make us question whether we are worthy or likable or if we're ever going to be enough. But I promise it is all going to be okay. I stand here at our graduation, the class of 2022 triumphant victory march, dragging behind me an ox cart full of the most awkward, shameful, and embarrassing things that have ever happened to me. And everyone has survived in all of the stories I told them. Well, I think so. I never actually checked on the skateboard kid, but if anybody heard of any skateboard-induced deaths in the Hanover area on April 12th, let me know and I'll post an apology video to my TikTok. But the point is, we've survived 4 years of a hands-on crash course in social interaction. No matter what we do, the future isn't going to be everything we've hoped for. It's going to be awkward and messy and disappointing. But if we can find the silver lining, the beauty, in the moments that we're at our lowest, we won't just be okay in the next 4 years. We're gonna thrive. To the class of 2022 and all that lies ahead, the good, the bad, and the absolutely horrifically humiliating. Thank you.